Yo, what is going on, everyone? It is Memory here. We are here for some more MHA, this being the second episode of the fifth and new season, or episode 90 overall. We're almost at 100 episodes. Like, isn't that kind of crazy to think about? Actually, we're probably at around 100 episodes if you include like OVAs and extra stuff and all of that. But technically, we're still not at 100 episodes. But we've had a lot of MHA, of course, and we're creeping up on the triple digits for sure. Previous episode, you know, the premiere to this fifth season wasn't anything too special, right? Honestly, it was pretty unnecessary, but I actually had some good laughs with the previous episode, especially with like Mirko. That was really getting to me. If you guys saw the reaction for the previous episode, you would know that, and maybe it was like that for a lot of you too. So I really love that. And then my other favorite part of the previous episode was like when Kaminari, Bakugo, and Kirishima rolled up. I thought that was pretty cool. And like Kaminari driving, like that was just something like, what? You know? So those two things with the previous episode were probably my favorite things, I'd say. But then we actually left off on a pretty solid note, an intriguing note, I would say. And we're probably going to pick up with that in this episode, like with Dabi showing up, and then Hawks and Dabi were like in a warehouse or something. So I don't know what the heck is going on with that, but we'll probably see. I don't know if that's going to be this whole episode, but that's what we're here to find out. So excited to get into this episode and see what we'll have this week, everyone. So without further ado, let's get into this episode. Here we go. Dude, he's like, nobody getting in here. I'm making sure of that. He's surrounded all of them. He said, who's that? This man, bro. Let's talk a little since we have this chance. Dude, the fire surrounding, the color palette here. Oh. Did you really just come to do that, though? As he charges forward. Oh, it's her! What's her name again? Mirko, right? The 5th ranked hero? Dude, look how swole. Don't die, NG Todoroki. Saying his name in full like that? Okay, so there's definitely something going on there. He really wants to make sure he can talk to Endeavor. He says his full name. This is the beginning. Okay, so now we're at the warehouse. So this is later. So they, what, this was orchestrated together? Or is this Cat? I'm doing this because I'm thinking of the league. Is he trying to like somehow rip apart the league from inside? Because I refuse to believe Hawks is... we don't really know too much about Hawks, but still. So they're kind of using Hawks to sort of be, I get, a middleman, essentially. So yeah, they literally had him kind of infiltrate. It's a big role. It's a big task to place on someone, right? Like one of the heroes. Man, was that crying blood? Or like, wait, is he crying blood or what was that? Was that a coincidence? Sharp. Pretty sharp himself, Endeavor, right? So it's not necessarily like Hawks is a trait. I mean, it is kind of like, it's still shady, but they're literally having, the higher ups are having him do this. I feel like there needs to be more clarity between everyone about this shit. This is such like it's a high risk, I guess maybe high reward sort of situation. Oh, is this when Hawks was like first brought in? Oh, he had the Endeavor figure. Oh, I thought the cat was a reaction to Endeavor, but it's Aizawa. What is this? You're saying this out loud. Yeah, you're saying this out loud. Hey, that's fair. That's fair. And it's not just going to be like that. Like Endeavor said, he's trying, though. Like, you can tell he wants to make the effort. He wants to change. Damn. He's just trying to eat some soba. Ah. Hey, progress. We got little steps, right? Little goals. Some progress. It's better to be open about these things, though. Like, to talk about it, right? If Natsu's saying these things to Endeavor, like, I feel like that hits a lot more. There's more impact instead of keeping it to yourself. It's like society itself. Is that what he's referring to? And that's totally fair. Like, he's amazing, but it still doesn't erase a lot of these things. As a father, it's still a different story. Right, you kind of have to see how it'll play out. Really start to see him with his actions. Oh, Yo, if that's what it's pushing him, and if that's what he instantly thought of, that was the first thing. Slumped. Didn't even have enough energy to bathe. Oh, is this gonna be some more of the dream shit? Okay, so like the past users of One for All. There was also like All for One's brother or whatever, right? It's like this is almost some real shit, but it's a dream. Two more in black. See, we don't necessarily know all of them. This is way more to One for All apparently than what we thought before. I mean, we don't know. I don't know specifically what it is, but you can just tell that there has to be more. Is that All for One's voice? Yeah. Yo, why is he kind of sound like Deku? Does he not? His brother? Like a little bit. Probably not the same VA, but it kind of sounds like Deku a little bit. Is the past being reenacted? Are they saying the past being reenacted? Are they trying to relate this to Shigaraki in Deku? Was there like nobody there for these people? Or what the heck? Was it because like no one was there for them? They're saying like these people went to the dark side. Why does this shit feel like so real? Like this is like, I know we're in a dream or whatever it is apparently, but it's like what the sounds so similar to Deku, does it not? At least that's the kind of vibe or feeling I get. Choice to those without power, mercy to those who have sinned. Yo, face reveal? Face, the red eyes? That's the first time we saw his face. Usually. That's usually how it goes. What in the hell? So was this actually like real? Or like what is this like? This is no normal dream. Like this is... It'll be fine. You're not alone. Dude. Did they just expand on... I think what they just did right there was expand on what we... Because they teased it at the end of the previous season, but I guess they just kind of expanded it into it and went more into it. That last part of the episode was quite a bit to take in. And like I said, I remember... They showed a bit of that at the end of the previous season. Maybe they talked more about it. There were some things that we had there that we didn't have here, but it definitely felt like they expanded on it a lot. But this was a lot to kind of take in. And like I even pointed out in the reaction, I think Deku's line really stood out to me, and it made me think that this is kind of like a parallel somehow or some way with current society or where society's going. Deku, Shigaraki, right? And there's All for One, his brother, All Might Deku, like just One for All for One. I feel like it all somehow like kind of, it obviously does. Like there's some kind of like how it ties in the connections there. Like there's a bit to it, and maybe it'll make more sense as we go along. But you know, this is something I really don't want to look into it and try to dive into it more because I feel like I'll be spoiled on some shit, right? But to this point, I feel like I'm gonna have to go back. Like that's something I'm gonna have to rewatch, honestly, to make sure I fully, or at least have most of a grasp, I guess, of kind of what I should know or what I should have in terms of this right now. But I mean, either way, the whole dreams thing, like it's not just any regular dream. I think that's with this, it's been made apparent that this is just some other shit. Like it almost feels real. Like you can actually do things in these dreams, right? So that's gonna be really curious to see what they do with that going forward, or how that's going to be used with the past users of One for All. There's a lot more to One for All than I guess, you know, that we've known to this point. I that was kind of, I guess, pointed out to me at the end of the previous season. Really, I would say like, okay, there's a lot more to this, even beyond just like the power itself, right? And what the power can do, and you know, the progress Deku has made and all of that. So. Jeez, that last part of the episode was a lot to take in, I have to say. There's a lot to talk about with the first half of the episode too, like with Dabi, with Hawks, with Endeavor, all three of them. Like first off with Dabi, I guess all three of them were there, but that whole like confrontation we saw, Mirko did come in, so we did get you know, another appearance from her, although it was very brief. That was pretty cool, I have to say. But the main thing that sticks out to me with Dabi in here, besides him being like pretty badass, because blue's my favorite color, so like the blue flames and all that, like aesthetically, I really fuck with it. And then he was like bleeding from his eyes. Like I don't know if that was supposed to be tears, if he was crying there or what it was. But besides all that, like the main thing that sticks out to me is how he really wants to have this chat, have this talk with Endeavor. He says his full name, which is probably public information, whatever, but still, why would you say his full name there in that? Like, right? Like, I feel like there definitely is something there. And like with the flames and all that, you would, for me at least, I would be like, okay, there's some kind of connection, some kind of relation there. Like that would be my guess. I feel like that's probably mostly everyone's main guess. I mean, what else could it freaking be? You know, if there is actually something there, and why would he be so pressed and keen on that? So obviously no confirmation, but that was the thing that stands out to me the most with Dabi. And then we also went in like this whole thing with Hawks. I was thinking like the thought did cross my mind, like, okay, is he a traitor, or like what the heck is going on here? But the higher ups are having him do this, and he like, I guess he's been tasked to do this, and he took him up on it, which like, I feel like they should be more open about it with everyone, right? Not keeping this really a secret, because imagine someone comes across Hawks, you know, with the League of Villains, they'd have this like misconception, probably like, what the heck is going on here? Like, what are you doing? So I feel like what Hawks is doing, it's risky. It's I feel like it's maybe like a high risk, like I said earlier in the reaction, I think like a high risk kind of high reward sort of thing. And I don't know. I guess it works for Hawks. What he's trying to do, or what they're having him do, I guess, is going to help him sort of reach what goal he has. So maybe it's not even in the best interest of everyone, but I still feel like there should be, maybe that's a problem, right? With, I guess, the society that we have now, and that there isn't a lot of this shared together, and that not a lot of people know about these certain things that are going on. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, but I don't think it's like I wouldn't really label him a traitor, but it's still a very interesting position, a very risky position that Hawks is in. And then Endeavor, the stuff with him, and it makes sense, right? How his kids are being like, yeah, you're awesome, yeah, you did this or whatever, but as a father, like, and Endeavor knows this. I think he's reached this realization that there's a lot of things that he has to improve on, that he has to make progress on, that he has to make up for, and he's going to make up for it with his actions. He's said this, right? Watch me. Now, it's not going to happen like that, and I think we all know that. I think we understand that, but I think it's going to be something awesome as we go forward to see Endeavor's development, and to see him, you know, work on these things and improve these things with his actions. And because that family deserves it, right? The family really does, I have to say. So I really respect Endeavor, and I respect his kids as well, right? For coming and saying these things to him, like Todoroki did, and Natsu as well. So yeah, I really like that scene as well. This episode as a whole was just fantastic. Like, oh my gosh, I wish they would have started off the season with this. Like, man, because you start off the season with an episode like that, and it's like, yeah, okay, it was fun, whatever. But it's like, it's the premiere, right? It should be something kind of special, like this. Like, I feel like this was something special. Like, this was a really good episode, and I know it's we can look back on it, and it is what it is. We can't do anything about it now, but whatever. This episode, though, really good, I have to say. Raises a lot of questions, makes me kind of like scratch my head a little bit at some things, but overall, I'm very satisfied. Really liked what we had with this episode. So yeah, everyone, let me know what you all thought about this one. If you guys did enjoy my reaction to this episode of MHA, make sure you drop a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you for watching. Peace out.